Despite an increase in public awareness and enhanced security measures, the threat to our public remains. Throughout our communities, schools, universities, and businesses, we're all at risk to man-made and naturally occurring critical incidents. Practical Life-Saving Solutions, PLS, provides an integrated program of situational awareness training, civilian trauma care training, and publicly accessible medical supplies necessary to not only prepare for a critical incident, but perform simple life-saving intervention skills to save a life during the crucial time during the aftermath of a critical incident, before the arrival of emergency medical services. By providing this training and making the medical products accessible, your people will be empowered with the ability to save a life. PLS has a variety of bleeding control stations, trauma kit go bags, and individual first aid kits suitable for placement in public buildings, office spaces, vehicles, and for individuals. Our collective crisis management, tactical, and medical expertise, coupled with our years of experience in infrastructure security, led to the development of our product line. Our bleeding control station consists of one or more trauma kit go bags. The bleeding control station may be supplemented with additional items such as a rescue litter. Each trauma kit go bag contains multiple individual trauma kits and may be easily carried to locations in need of medical help. If desired, the trauma kit go bag may be wall-mounted in a controlled environment, such as an office. The individual trauma kits developed by PLS can be easily opened and contain the highest quality medical supplies available. Each individual kit contains a CAT tourniquet, compressed gauze, a 4-inch mini compression bandage, a heat sheet blanket, medical scissors, nitrile gloves, writing implement, and a sequence of care card. Remember, before providing any medical assistance, it is essential to ensure you are in the safest environment possible and you have donned personal protective equipment such as nitrile gloves. PLS products and suggested sequence of care for the wounded was developed by the PLS medical team and adheres to the national standards for civilian trauma care. The sequence of care card contained in the individual trauma kits is a useful reminder on what steps to take to care for the wounded. The CAT tourniquet should be used when there is severe bleeding of an extremity. Indications of severe bleeding include pooling of blood on the floor or other surfaces near the injured person, spurting of blood from an extremity, possible severe saturation of clothing near the wound. Be sure the scene is safe and you have donned all available personal protective equipment such as nitrile gloves. To treat, first control bleeding by applying direct pressure to the wound. Place the tourniquet band around the limb. Pass the red tip of the strap through the slit of the buckle. Position the tourniquet approximately 2 inches above the bleeding wound site directly to the skin. Pull the strap tightly and fasten it all the way around the leg or arm, but not over the rod clips. The strap should be tight enough that the tips of 3 fingers should not slide under the strap. If the fingertips can slide under the strap, retighten the strap. Twist the rod until the bleeding has completely stopped. Secure the rod inside a clip to lock it in place. Reevaluate the wound for signs of bleeding. If the wound continues to bleed, place another tourniquet directly above the original tourniquet. Leave the original tourniquet in place on the limb. Note the time of application. If the wound cannot be exposed, the tourniquet should be placed over the clothing, as high up on the arm or leg as possible. Continue to reassess the injured person. Do not place the tourniquet directly over a bone fracture. Do not place the tourniquet over a joint. Do not place the tourniquet around an injured person's neck. For wounds found on the neck, shoulder, or groin, first apply direct pressure to the wound site. If the wounded person is able, he may apply direct pressure to his wound by using his hand. Wounds found on the neck, shoulder, or groin may be packed with gauze. When you are no longer able to put additional gauze into the wound cavity, wrap the additional gauze around the wound area and place firm pressure over the wound site. Place a mini compression bandage directly over the bandage and reassess the wounded person. If you are treating an injured person who may be unconscious but breathing, first make sure you are wearing personal protective equipment and that the scene is safe. Place the injured person on their back and kneel beside them. Place the arm nearest you at a right angle to their body with their hand upwards towards the head. Tuck the other hand under the side of their head so the back of their hand is touching their cheek. Bend the knee farthest from you to a right angle. Carefully roll the person onto their side by pulling on the bent knee. The top of the arm should be supporting the head, and the bottom arm should keep you from rolling the injured person too far. Reassess the injured person. Signs of shock include the wounded person may be disoriented, the wounded person may have cool, clammy skin, the wounded person may have blue-colored lips, the wounded person may be unconscious. Practical Life-Saving Solutions is in the business of providing training and products designed to keep victims of traumatic injury alive between the time of the traumatic incident and when emergency medical services (EMS) personnel arrive on scene.